So tomorrow's Easter Sunday, so I thought I'd share this story right before it hits, because why wouldn't I want to be a little bit festive? No, the title isn't clickbait, it's actually something that happened, or rather should I say, I did, and I still feel great shame about it to this day. And I'm gonna stop being around the bush and just come out and straight up say it. I jerked off in front of Jesus Christ, at least a big giant statue of him while I was hiding in the bushes. So when I was about 11 or 12, I want to say, I was unbelievably horny all of the time. I know, shocker. And as any unbelievably horny 11 or 12-year-old, you just want to jerk it every chance you get. The longer that goo is inside you, the more torturous your life can be. It physically feels like your nutsack is about to drop off. The only way I can describe it is it's similar to having like a really bad itchy tooth, and you just keep kind of scratching at it a little bit, but it's never gone. The seed is always there. And being 11 and 12, I would just about masturbate anywhere because, like I said, it was an itchy tooth that I needed to get the hell out of my balls. And I'm talking anywhere. I mean, I'd do it in school, I'd do it in bathrooms, I'd do it in shopping centers. I do it any chance I could possibly get. And on this fateful day that I masturbated in front of Jesus Christ was a school day. And trust me, that's important. You see, I grew up in Cape Town, South Africa, and like the majority of the rest of the world, we wore school uniforms. I know in the States they wear civvies, but we had to have like a blazer, a tie, long gray pants, and smart black shoes. So the primary school I went to at that time, I must have been in year 7, was, I want to say, a 10-minute walk away from where the high school was. And for some reason, I don't remember why, I had to walk across the veldt, big field, very dry grass and sand, to go meet someone in the high school. That bit's foggy. And for some reason on that day, I left school early. It sounds like I was trying to get abducted. And the high school wasn't letting out for like, I want to say another 2 hours or so. And because I didn't want to walk all the way to my house and walk all the way back down to the high school, I just decided I'll go straight to the school. So I was sat across from the high school because you can't sit near the high school during school hours, as they have like a sweeping security guard going up and down, just making sure that the perimeter's safe, or just kind of getting paid to do piss. So I had to sit across the road at the church. It was one of those Methodist churches where they had the big Jesus out in front. I mean, this motherfucker was a Musa. Like one of those towering ones where they use in the movies, nailed up against the wall, staring directly down into your soul. And where that giant Jesus statue was, it was obscured by a bush, very similar to that, but like a giant hedge. So if you were at the high school, you could not see that Jesus, but if you came out the high school and kind of just walked slightly down the road, and you look that way, you could see right through that bush and see the big Jesus. And it was a really hot day, so I decided I'm gonna go sit by where the bush is. That was a big mistake, because although my reasonable mind told me, okay, I'm just gonna sit here and wait for whoever I was waiting for, my monkey brain was going crazy. I could not help it. My penis was pulsating. While I was thinking to myself, I shouldn't be doing anything, this is a public space, I mean, like anything could happen, I was busy sticking my hand down my pocket and playing Red Rocket. Like, I mean, dude, it was bad. The shit was leaking out of me. It almost went into my shoes. So, full context picture. I've just arrived at the high school. I've got 2 hours to kill. I'm sat behind a bush. There's a giant Jesus statue staring directly down at me playing Red Rocket, and I've got cum in my shoe. And eventually the 2 wolves inside of me that were fighting one another, well, the good wolf lost. And I'm afraid little Dino, for some reason, could not control himself for 2 hours and had to bust right then. Now, I'm a Gen Z kid. I like saying that. I looked it up the other day. I'm still young. So these were the days when we didn't have the Nokia phones. We had the slightly upgraded Nokia phones, where you would have to press each individual key and like tap it in multiple times to get a different character. Like we had Mixit. There was no WhatsApp or BBM yet. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is I had no porn. But because the horny wolf in my brain was so loud, it didn't matter. I went into like a fugue state, man. I saw red out of my corneas like a zombie, and I was just going up and down, beating it in the bushes across from the high school, staring at Jesus. And I mean, I was staring at Jesus while I was doing it, dude. That's not an exaggeration. Because my brain had literally shut off and all I needed to do was nut, I was staring at that man's eyes. He was weeping at me. When Peter and Paul bring me up to the pearly gates, they are going to remember the sight of a young boy bruising his testicles with vigorous masturbation. Because, bro, I went so hard. My shit looked like red licorice. My shit looked like a slice of salami with a little bit of glisten. My whole penis was red, bruh. It was unbelievable. And I want to tell you something else exciting happened, but truthfully, it didn't. Nobody came outside from the church. I don't think anybody was in there to begin with to scold me. The security crowd across the road had no idea what was going on because he couldn't even see me. And no other crazy event happened, like someone parachuted down and whacked the tip of my penis head. Nah, I was just masturbating in the bushes, staring at God. Thinking about whoever I had a crush on at the time, I'm sure. And when I was done, I just busted in my pants. Just in my pants, in my boxes. No regard for my own well-being. Bro, and the semen itself was so thick and nasty because it was just so much. Just unbelievable amount. Hang on. That when I took my right hand out of my pants, it literally looked like that. That is true degenerate behavior. If you bust in your own pants, because that means you don't even have the self-decency to clean yourself up. That's sick. But I did. I busted in my school pants. My gray school pants, and it seeped through my boxes onto those gray school pants so you could see it. I am disgusting. The minute I was done, I kind of just stood up, looked down at just this absolute plethora of semen. This caked up crotch. Did a little gag because even I was like, what the hell's wrong with me? And started desperately trying to get a water bottle out of my bag to like pour it on top of the white. That's pretty much where the story ends. I can't remember if I did stay behind for whoever I was waiting for, but I do specifically remember walking home and having to stop at Spa because my mom texted me that we needed milk. And I remember this to this day. I used to have like a purple jumper on top of my school uniform, which I tied around my crotch and turned it around facing forward so nobody could see it. And after I got the milk, I just walked home in my cami pants, feeling a slight breeze on the wet spot and perfectly dry in the rest. Anyway, thank you for listening to my disgusting tale. Happy Easter to you and your loved ones. I hope that you have a great time hunting for eggs. Just be careful of which bushes you go into because you might find an 11-year-old boy jerking it to Jesus. Oh yeah, and you legally have to subscribe or I will bust on your monitor like Mayo. Bye-bye.